Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Guitar and Notes Unleashed, where today we're going to talk about key signatures. So what is a key signature? Well, key signature is how you know how many sharps or flats are in a given key. So you might know from a piano that C major is just all the white keys, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, which means it has no sharps and no flats. And that's the key signature of C major, no sharps, no flats. But some keys have sharps, some keys have flats, so how do you figure that out? The traditional method for figuring this out is to use the circle of fifths. You may have heard in a previous video of ours how the NANDI method primarily uses the circle of fourths, but we are going to touch on the circle of fifths. So here is a circle of fifths using a root C. An easy way to remember the order of the circle of fifths is to use the mnemonic "Fat cat gets dizzy after eating birds," which is all the natural notes, starting from F just to the left of C, going clockwise. It's also good to know that since the NANDI method primarily uses circle of fourths, that the circle in fourths and circle in fifths are mirror images of one another. So you can see that here, as we have them side by side, you can see that on the circle of fifths, when you go clockwise, you hit G, D, A, E, etc. And on the circle of fourths, when you go counterclockwise, you hit G, D, A, E, etc. And same thing on the reverse direction. On circle of fifths, when you go counterclockwise, you hit F, B flat, E flat, etc. On the circle of fourths, when you go clockwise, you hit F, B flat, E flat. And that's because fifths and fourths are inversions of one another. If you go up a fourth to go back to the same note you started on, you have to go down a fifth. So fourths and fifths are kind of like two sides of the same coin. But how does any of this help us figure out key signatures? Well, the traditional way is to memorize the circle of fifths and know that if you go clockwise to find sharps, say, C we know has no sharps and no flats, as we figured out. So one step to the right, you get to G, that's one sharp. 2 steps to the right, that's D, you get 2 sharps. 3 steps clockwise, you get 3 sharps on A, etc. One way that's a little easier if you know the NANDI method is to pick whatever note you want your root to be. Go 1/2 step down from that root and then move up in fourths until you hit a natural note. So for example, we're in G. A 1/2 step down from G is F sharp, and 1/4 up from F sharp is B. So since we hit a natural note right away, that means there's only one sharp in the key of G, and it's F sharp. So which would mean that the notes in the key of G are A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and G. If we want to do another example on D, a 1/2 step down from D is C sharp. 1/4 up from C sharp is F sharp, and 1/4 up from F sharp is B, which means that the only sharps that are in the key of D are C sharp and F sharp. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, and G. You can do this all the way going clockwise on the circle of fifths. But what about finding flats? Well, it's important to know that F is the only key with flats that doesn't have a flat in the root. In other words, every other key with flats, the root is a flat. So as long as you remember that F is the only one that doesn't have a flat in the name, then just remember the order of the natural notes that we've done in another video and flat them all, which in our other videos we've established that the mnemonic bacon, eggs, and donuts gain calories fat is a good way to remember that. BEADGCF. So a natural F followed by a flatted B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, C flat, and F flat. So if we know that F has one flat, which is B flat, then we know that B flat has 2 flats, and E flat has 3 flats, and A flat has 4 flats, D flat has 5 flats, G flat has 6 flats, and C flat has 7 flats. F flat would technically have 6 flats and a double flat, but that's a more advanced topic. So really consider it from F to C flat is all of your flat key signatures. And the order of the flats would be just as it appears here. B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, C flat. So the key of F has a B flat, the key of B flat has a B flat and an E flat, the key of E flat has a B flat, E flat, and an A flat, and so forth. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. For a more in-depth look at this content, please pick up the book Guitar Intervals Unleashed, now available on Amazon. Links are in the description.